In this part of the program, we'll see how energized secondary lines can be transferred from one dead-end utility pole to another. This is a job that requires continuous coordination between crewmen so that the lines can be moved safely. Like most other jobs, there are several ways that this job can be done safely. The methods used to accomplish the job here are meant to be an example. Though the procedures used by your company may be different, the basic skills you'll see demonstrated are useful and can be applied to many different kinds of rigging jobs. Let's join the crew at the job site, where they've already set the new pole. Earlier, during the tailgate session, the crew discussed how to accomplish the transfer of the secondary lines. They decided that the actual transfer of the lines involved basically one task, which would be performed for each of the 3 secondary lines. Since the rack that will be used to support the lines will be mounted slightly lower on the new pole, they'll begin with the bottom conductor and move each secondary line separately to the new pole. Let's look at this simplified illustration so that we can see the method that will be used. This is an overhead view of the job site. This is the old pole, and this is the pole where they'll move the secondary lines. To avoid confusion, only one conductor is shown here. A block and tackle will be rigged from the old pole and connected to the conductor at approximately 8 or 10 feet from the pole. A second block and tackle will be connected between the new pole and the conductor. A slight strain is taken on the conductor with the first set of blocks so that the line can be disconnected from the old pole. Then a strain is taken on the block and tackle rigged from the new pole. As the second block and tackle is used to move the conductor to the new pole, the strain is let out on the first block and tackle. In this way, the 2 sets of block and tackle are always used to maintain control of the conductor being moved. Once at the other pole, the conductor is connected to the pole and the rigging can be removed. Well, in this part of the program, you've seen how a coordinated effort by a crew was needed to safely transfer energized secondary lines from one dead-end pole to another. Throughout this program, we've seen the tools and skills needed to rig jobs safely. When the program began, we looked at some of the general safety considerations of rigging any job. We also reviewed some of the common rigging tools and their uses. And then we began to look at the types of stress that a structure is subjected to, as well as how rigging affects the stresses. In the field, we saw how crews applied rigging tools and skills as we looked at examples of some common rigging jobs. Remember, rigging is an important part of many jobs that you'll be doing. Be sure to always plan each job carefully, inspect the equipment that you'll use, and use that equipment properly.